Good morning students, welcome to Mount Litera Z School. In previous video we have learnt about types of computer on the principle of their operation, just like analog computer, hybrid computer, digital computer. In this video we are going to learn about types of computer on the principle of size. Let's go through it one by one. Okay, basically digital computers are categorized in four categories: microcomputers, mini computers, mainframe computers and supercomputers. It is very important to know about all this because in different area we use different type of computers. Microcomputers are also known as personal computers or simply PCs. This type of computers use microprocessor. They cost less and are very small in size. The most popular type of personal computers are IBM PC and the Apple. While the IBM PC and IBM PC compatible computers use Windows operating system, Apple computers use Macintosh operating system, Mac OS, we generally know that. The desktop computers that we use in our school, labs, offices, homes, etc. are the best examples of microcomputers. Okay, so now you know that why they are called microcomputers, because they use microprocessor. Let us see some more common computers in daily life. First is laptop computer. Okay, a laptop is portable computer, weight usually 4 to 12 pounds, depending upon the display size, hardware and other factors. It is small in size and can easily fit inside a briefcase. A laptop operates on a special battery and does not need to be plugged in like a desktop computer. These computers are mainly used by business travelers. The screen folds down onto the keyboard when not in use. All these are the general things that we know. As the name suggests, they can be used on our lap. Some of the companies which manufactures laptops are HP, Dell, Samsung, Lenovo, Sony, Apple and many more. Notebook computer. It is an extremely lightweight personal computer. It weighs around 5-6 pounds and is smaller in size than a laptop computer. A notebook does not have an integrated DVD drive like laptop. It generally has smaller memory than laptop. Okay, due to its compact size, it is not having integrated DVD drive, but you can attach USB DVD drive with it if you want to use it. Tablet PC, okay, that is also nowadays very popular. A tablet PC looks similar to laptop. The only difference is that the tablet PC does not have a keyboard. It has a touch screen which is used to write directly on the screen rather than typing on keyboard. Some common examples of tablet PCs are Apple iPad, Samsung Galaxy Tab, etc. Nowadays many more companies are manufacturing it, so you can get it easily in lower price also. The next category is handheld computer. The smallest computer is the handheld computer, also called personal digital assistant or PDA. It is used for scheduling appointments, storing addresses, and playing games. PDAs are pen-based and also battery-powered. They use a pen-like stylus that accepts handwritten input directly on a touch-sensitive screen. Some common examples include HTC P3470, iMac, Apple iPhone, Acer N series, etc. Okay, they are very compact, so we need to use stylus type of pen for precise selection or writing. Embedded system. Okay, exactly it will not look like computer, but some computerized technologies are used in such embedded system. It is a specialized computer system that is a part of larger systems or machines. Virtually every electronic device which is designed and manufactured today has an embedded system. Typically, an embedded system is placed on a single microprocessor board with the program stored in ROM. All the appliances that have a digital interface like watches, microwaves, VCRs, cars, etc. utilizes the embedded system. The embedded systems are pre-programmed for a specific task and operate on electricity or battery. They are available in wide range of sizes and power. Okay, so now we know that embedded system actually is not a computer, but it is an assistant or make some work computerized. So whatever digital interface you can see, all are using embedded technology. So now we'll move towards mini computer. Okay, these computers are bigger in size, bigger than microcomputer, have higher processing speed and are costlier than microcomputers. The capabilities of mini computers are better than personal computers. Okay, mention it. Mini computers are used in business, education, and many other government departments. These computers are mostly designed to handle multiple terminals. However, some are also designed for single users. Mini computers are also used as web servers. The first mini computer you can see this is the that was of introduced in mid 1960 by Digital Equipment Corporation DEC. After this, IBM Corporation also designed series of mini AS/400 computers. Okay, so from this we just come to know that where mini computers are used. Okay, it can be used as servers because it can handle different terminals or nodes we can say. Okay, so it is used as web servers. If you know the concept of server, where we when we use server, when we need to provide some services to other computers or clients, then we use servers. So mini computers can be used as servers. Next, mainframe computers. These computers are larger than mini computers. A mainframe computer processes data at very high speed, which is measured in millions of instructions per second. These are very expensive computers. Mainframe computers are designed for multiple users and process a vast amount of data quickly. So where it is used? Banks, insurance companies, manufacturers, mail order companies, and airlines are some of the typical mainframe users. As a server, they are using it. Mainframe computers are often used as servers, which control the networks of various computers for large companies. Some examples of mainframe computers are IBM S/390 mainframe, which can support up to 50,000 users simultaneously. Okay, so now you know that where mainframe computers are used, where large data is required. Large data is required to be stored, just like banks and companies and manufacturers and all that. So you can see large amount of data is being stored. Next, supercomputers. The largest computers are the supercomputers. These are the most powerful, the most expensive, and the fastest computers in the world, and are capable of processing trillions of instructions per second. These computers are used by the government agencies such as the Internal Revenue Services (IRS), the National Weather Service, and the National Defense Agency. These are also used in space exploration, large organizations, research laboratories, aerospace centers, and large industrial units. The example of supercomputers are Cray-1, Cray-2, Control Data Cyber 205, IBM Roadrunner, ETA-10, etc. Okay, Param is also India's supercomputer. That all we know. Okay, so now we know about different categories of digital computers like microcomputer, mini computer, mainframe computer, supercomputer. Also, we know that when we should use particular type of computers. Okay, just summarize some things. Microcomputers we use for our day-to-day life. Okay, as a personal computer or laptop computer, all that. As a client, we can use it. Mini computer when we want to store little amount of data or we want to provide services to other computers as a server, then we use mini computers. As a web server we can use mini computers. Okay, mainframe computer when we need to process very large amount of data, then we use mainframe computers. And at last, when we use supercomputers, it is the largest computer and we need super fast processing speed, then we use supercomputer. It is very expensive and can't be affordable by small organizations. So generally government agencies are using supercomputers. Okay, now we'll just move towards some facts that you must know. People blink less when they use computers. Okay, this is fact. While the average person blinks about 20 times a minute under normal circumstances, people on computer only blink about 7 times a minute. Okay, next time when you use computer, just observe that. Hackers write about 6,000 new viruses each month. These viruses are designed to target a wide selection of operating systems. So, learning to avoid viruses and malware is essential. Okay, why it is essential? Because that can damage our data and computer and all. So, we must know how to avoid viruses. Okay, once it comes, then it will damage your data. So, in some chapters, theoretical chapter, we learn about the concepts of cyber security and all. So, at that time, we'll discuss it. Third fact, more than 80% of daily emails in the US are spam. Okay, not only about US, but nowadays you may also observe that if you have email account, then 80% of that emails are spam. Spam means from unknown senders. To keep your data safe, delete these emails immediately and don't click any links or attachments they might contain. MyDoom is the most expensive computer virus in history. The virus cost an estimate 38.5 billion dollars in damage and came about in January of 2006. Shortly after that, it earned a name for itself as the fastest spreading virus ever. Okay, nowadays you may see different type of viruses are attacking on different systems. The parts of the modern computer were first invented in 1833. A man named Charles Babbage put them together, but the first modern computer came about 120 years later. Okay, as we know that the father of computer, Charles Babbage. The first gigabyte drive cost $40,000. It was released in 1980 and weighed 550 lbs. How's that for portable drive? Okay, it can't be portable because it weighs more and cost more also. Okay, so for today, this much only. In next video, we'll go through some different type of memory units. Okay, random access memory, read-only memory. We'll go through that. So till then, goodbye and thank you.